Looks like Japan is getting a new prime minister, and it's pretty exciting news, I guess, depending which side you're on. But I personally think it's great. But anyways, let's get straight to it then. So guys, if this is your first time here, and if you like the page so far, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We are officially at 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for all the support. You guys are amazing. So we have a lot of awesome content here. If this is something you guys are interested in, we have gunpla, drama, news, all that good stuff. So we get a little variety of everything. But yeah, guys, check out this page if this is something you guys are interested in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get to the video. So if you guys don't know, looks like we got ourselves a new prime minister for Japan, and it is a woman, which is pretty crazy. Be the first woman. So I've heard things like a lot of people were saying stuff about her. Now, again, it depends what side are you in for these things, right? So this is Seine Takaichi. So this is what she says. I'll read this out loud. So she says, I oppose immigration. Those who are staying in Japan illegally should be properly returned to their home countries. We must also crack down on individuals who pose as refugees for economic gain and have them sent back. The immigration control system itself needs to be strengthened, and we should thoroughly investigate those who enter the country under the pretense of being students or researchers. In addition, we must reinforce the central organizations responsible for overseeing matters related to foreign nationals. So, yeah, I 100% agree with this. I think this is something very important. I think a lot of people are very important, for this for the most part. I believe so. Again, and I mention this every time most of my videos, is that, you know, I am all for immigration. I just want it to be done the right way. I think that's a very important way to say things. It's like you want immigration to done the right way, because imagine this, right? You're taking a test, right? Let's say example, you and someone else, right? You guys take this test, you work your butt off studying, you pass the test. Now what about this person who cheats everything, gets the same grade as you, gets the same reward and everything? Yeah, sure, that happens in life, but at the end of the day, it's like you wouldn't want people like that, you know. And this is kind of the same idea. You work your butt off, you do the right way of immigration. My family did it, and then you have these people just come in, cut in line, and not only they just cut in line, they're like straight up criminals too. Like, this is not just any kind of people. So and I've been seeing this a lot in Japan, at least, you know, the videos I've been seeing, is that like it's pretty nutty over there right now. So yeah, this is definitely something that needs to be handled. You know, I 100% agree with this at all. So let's watch this real quickly. Okay, it's all in, I totally forgot it's all in Japanese. There's no translation, but here's a translation what she says here, so you know, you can probably read that. I kind of read that already. So let's see what Charlie Kirk says. So this is a very good thing. I want to watch this.
I've ever visited, from how clean it is, from how seriously even the just everyday workers take their job. The bus drivers wear white gloves, they bow when you go on, they take their little jobs so seriously. But there is an effort underway in Japan, as there was a big effort underway in Europe and our country, to bring in a bunch of foreigners and to say, well, you know, they're Japanese too. Japan could maybe assimilate 10 Pakistanis or 100 if they didn't take any more right away. But 1 million? And we know they're not assimilating at that point.
Yeah.
And we saw a little bit, you know, just a little bit in Tokyo. You know,
yeah, and I agree.
Muhammad in here. Like, ooh, that's interesting. I didn't know I was in Paris. I didn't know I was in London. But the point is this: if you do not have a picture of...
So here's a video of what Charlie Kirk said. So before his passing, Charlie once said about Japan, Japan has every right to remain the country of the Japanese. Those words meant so much to us, and this is coming from a Japanese Twitter account. Why did such a wonderful person have to be killed? Yeah, I know, I'm still questioning till this day how annoying this is, but it is what it is, right? So I mean, shit happens. So let's watch this video. He said it's very good.
Japan is a very unique country, and objectively, Tokyo might have been the most impressive city I've ever visited. From how clean it is, from how seriously even the just everyday workers take their job. The bus drivers wear white gloves, they bow when you go on, they take their little jobs so seriously.
Yep.
But there is an effort underway in Japan, as there was a big effort under...
Yeah, and I felt the same way when I was in Japan. Like, I seriously felt it was so clean, and I was like, holy crap. And this is what kind of makes me kind of go about, you know, kind of more what I stand for, is that Japan is such a beautiful country, and it's so clean, and the people are so great. And like you said, like just the small things, like if you go to a McDonald's in Japan, the cashier is so nice to you and so polite. And again, it makes me be like, I don't want anyone to ruin this experience, right? And again, I'm all for immigration, but the thing is, they imported so many people that it wasn't being vetted anymore. And I think you'll explain that.
Way in Europe and our country to bring in a bunch of foreigners and to say, well, they're Japanese too. Japan could maybe assimilate 10 Pakistanis or 100 if they didn't take any more right away. But a million?
Yeah, a million.
And we know they're not assimilating at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw a little bit, just a little bit in Tokyo. Mohammedan there, Mohammedan here. Like, ooh, that's interesting. I didn't know I was in Paris. I didn't know I was in London.
That's very
but
funny.
The point is this. If you do not have a picture of national identity, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Now, America's picture of national identity is different than Japan's. Japan is tied to their ethnicity, and that's okay. It works for them, and it's unbelievably impressive. We have a different picture of national identity. We are, of course, a people and also a propositional nation. We're both. Japan is something different, though, and they should be allowed to be different. Japan is not a propositional nation. Japan is a people. They are an ethnicity. They are a genealogy, and it's worked incredibly well for them. They are one of the oldest and greatest cultures and civilizations.
I agree.
But isn't it just so striking, as you're looking at a picture of Tokyo right there, isn't it so striking that the globalist forces, they want to try to destroy any culture, any city that is working and functioning. So there's a major movement in Japan. It's called the Sanseido Party that is ascendant, and they are calling out the private, quiet infiltration of foreigners into Japanese society.
Yep.
And I'm cheering them on because here I am as an American wanting Japan to remain Japanese. It would be a demerit for the planet. It would be a demerit for the world if all of a sudden Japan fell the same way that Paris fell.
Yeah, I agree with this. Like, if you guys haven't seen what's going on with the UK and like Paris, it's a mess over there. And like I said, like immigration is fine if you do it the legal way, but the problem is with these people who are coming in, it's like way too much. And have you noticed that most of the immigrants that come in, they're like men for some reason? Like, there's no children, no women. It's just men, like all the time. That's kind of weird. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's really, really weird. And these people just have no sense of like respect, and they're just going in and just doing what the hell they want. It's like you're invited to. It's like a guest you invite a guest over, and the guest doesn't follow any of your rules when you're in the house. They just basically just trash the place and basically just do what the hell they want. That's how it is here.
And they do things differently. They're not a Christian nation. They're a Shinto nation.
Which is fine.
They are one that has traditions in Japanese culture and the samurai and duty and honor. And I think that's awesome. In fact, dare I say, I actually want the diversity amongst nations. Our national identity changed after the second great immigration wave of the 1910s and 1920s. But we are still a nation founded on Christian European settlers with norms and customs and faith emanating from Western civilization, from Christian civilization. And you shouldn't want to change America, and you shouldn't want to change Japan, because we already know what has happened when you change.
Yeah, exactly. Like the end, there's these factors, and like a certain set of foundation is for each country, and I think that's how it should be. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Now, if it gets worse, then okay, fine, we'll talk. But if it's already working and there's some principles, I don't think it's too big of an issue.
Paris, and you change London. National populism is a check against globalists. And we shouldn't go impose into Tokyo being like, well, Tokyo, you guys are too Asian. Let's just by the way, let's apply the left-wing framework. What's so interesting is, do you know they're calling Japanese racist for not wanting to take immigrants?
You gotta be kidding me. No way.
You don't want to take a bunch of Arabs in your country. You're racist because you don't want to take a bunch of Indonesians in your country. And
wow.
Japanese are like, racist? What does this word even mean? What do you mean? It is a purely Western moral framework that we're overlaying against a multi-thousand-year great.
I'm getting like that. You know, I'm getting a lot. I'm getting that racist fatigue. Like when people start using the word racist, Nazi, it's like there's just no effect anymore. That shit doesn't work anymore. I swear.
Civilization. So here, we as Westerners, we can't help but be, somewhat colonialist and imperialist. So left-wing imperialist colonist forces are coming in and scolding Japanese politicians for not taking immigration. And honestly, Japan does not want to commit political and cultural suicide, and we commend them for that. Japan should close its borders. Japan should say, nope.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like, it's the idea, and I've seen videos. It's great. And I'll put this link below if you guys want to watch. I don't want to get too much into it, but here we go. So this is the last thing I'll say is that, wow, Japan is about to get a right-wing prime minister who is being compared to the late great Shinzo Abe. So I think Shinzo was actually a left-winger. I believe. I could be totally wrong, but he was like one of those good left-wingers when he wasn't fucking crazy and cuckoo. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I think that's when I looked it up. I mean, I can check right now real quickly. Yeah, so Shinzo was a liberal, which again, I think for me personally, I don't go about like, oh yeah, you're a libtard. Well, some there are libtards, and there's also, I would also say there's also Republican retards. There's actually a lot of Republicans I actually don't like either. So I would say I'm more in the middle, but like this person seems like someone that's being compared to Shinzo, which is great, and I think Shinzo was a great prime minister, at least from what I read. So Japan's governing party has elected Sene Takaichi, a hardline ultra-conservative and China hawk, as their new leader. We need more right-wing leaders worldwide. I don't think we need more right-wing leaders. I think we just need more middle ground leaders. Now again, I think in a situation like this, yeah, I think right-wingers would probably be the right word for this, because with all the stuff going on, yeah, I think these are very important. We mentioned it's about, getting rid of illegal immigration. I think these are very strong things. Now, this reminds me of someone. Who else are we running of? Here we go. The Italy Prime Minister. Holy shit, this bitch is fucking base. If you haven't seen her, oh my gosh, she's terrifying. But you kind of need that. And yeah, you kind of need that. So I heard Italy's doing very great right now because of her leadership. So, if it's someone like her, I'm all for it. I think this would be great. Now, I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're a guy. I don't care if you're a cat. If you can get the job done, I'm all for that. And this seems like pretty good news, so I'm pretty excited for this. So, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well with it, and we're just got to see what happens. But let me know what you guys think, and see you guys next video. Peace.